1907 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost 4050 horsepower limousine by Rippon Brothers 1907. The 1907 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost remains the cornerstone on which the most prestigious automobile company in the world was founded, but like many icons, it was created in a time of great trouble for the parent company. Since Christmas 1904, sales of Rolls-Royce automobiles had been handled by the Honorable Charles Rolls and his general manager Claude Goodman, while engineer Henry Royce concentrated on vehicle production. The company had effectively been created at a 1904 launch, brokered by Henry Edmunds, who had brought Henry Royce and Charles Rolls together. Royce built cars in Manchester, Rolls sold them in London. Together they began to offer a range of 5 well-built 2, 4 and 6-cylinder vehicles, marketed under both their names. In March 1906, Royce's manufacturing business and Rolls dealerships were combined into Rolls-Royce Distributing, soon to become Rolls-Royce Limited. Royce was reportedly unhappy with the smoothness of the 30-horsepower 6-cylinder engine and had gone back to his drawing board calculating, as so many did after him, that there was no replacement for displacement and so developed the 40/50th horsepower 6-cylinder. However, research and development costs money, and Royce burned through Rolls' bankroll, so a public offering of preferred and ordinary shares was launched in December 1906. The company aimed for 100,000, but money was not forthcoming, and the day before the offer closed, they had raised only 41,000 of the 50,000 minimum required. Fortunately, company secretary John DeLuz remembered Yorkshire wool merchant Arthur H. Briggs, who had bought the very first Heavy 20 model and had encouraged the partners to compete in the 1905 Tourist Trophy, at which they had done very well. DeLuz hopped a train to Harrogate with a proposition for Briggs and returned with a check for 10,000, which kept the stock offering alive. Briggs already owned one of the 30-horsepower Rolls-Royces and immediately ordered a new 40/50th horsepower model when he heard about it. He was made a company director in short order and would eventually own 3 pre-WWI Rolls-Royces. Arthur Briggs' 40/50th horsepower Rolls-Royce is recognized as the oldest Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost still in existence, but when it was made, the term Silver Ghost was unknown. In fact, X201, the Barker-bodied Arouette Belges Tourer that's the original Silver Ghost, hadn't even been built yet. Its chassis number is 60,551, while Briggs' car is 60,547, making it the 8th 40/50th horsepower car to be built and the oldest known survivor. The idea of the Silver Ghost sobriquet came from Claude Johnson, a consummate showman apparently, to demonstrate the smoothness and reliability of the 40/50th horsepower model in the RAC's Scottish Reliability Trial in 1907. Going back and forth between London and Glasgow 27 times, the Silver Ghost travelled 14,371 miles, more or less non-stop, which led a journalist to call it the best car in the world. Johnson was too smart to let that slogan get away. When X201 was torn down under the eyes of the RAC scrutineers afterwards, it was found to need a mere 227D in repairs. It was practically good as new. Briggs' enormous limousine, it stands 8 feet tall, was bodied by Rippon Brothers of Huddersfield, which could claim to be the oldest coach builders in England, dating from 1555. The company was reputed to have built carriages for both Queen Mary I and her half-sister Elizabeth and was known for the quality of its work. When Rolls-Royce expert Martin Johnson found the car in 1986 in Derbyshire, it comprised a frame, rear axle, wheels, transmission and various other parts and required restoration to be returned to its former glory. Johnson sold it to Silver Ghost aficionado Jonathan Harley, who sent it on to American collector James Leake in Muskogee, Oklahoma before it went to noted Rolls-Royce enthusiast and collector Millard Newman, who persuaded Jonathan Harley to continue his investigation into 60,547's past. Ultimately, its origins were confirmed, and Newman had the stroke of luck to track down the engine from the immediately preceding car, number 546, in New Zealand and also turned up a period-correct Rippon Brothers limousine body in upstate New York. Such a romantic tale attracted considerable attention, of course, and the restoration of Briggs' Behemoth was thoroughly recorded, photographed and documented in the September-October 1992 issue of the Flying Lady. Once completed, it made the rounds of the Rolls-Royce Owners Club shows, also winning the Charles A. Shane Memorial Trophy at Pebble Beach Concours. This enormous vehicle has been restored to the highest standard, which included all the Edwardian grandeur that could be mustered in terms of lights, accessories, button-back leather and fabric curtains. It also boasts the Alpha Communicators command panel for rear passengers, whose buttons could command the driver to start, turn left or right, slow down or speed up. Since being in the Newman collection, 60,547 has resided in other very respected collections, including that of Barry Hahn, Richard Slove and most recently John O'Quinn. Apart from X201, the original Silver Ghost, there are few Rolls-Royces as important as this one, particularly with its fascinating history and status as the oldest known 4050 Silver Ghost, delivered new to none other than a company director.